someone who needs to be gluten-free. Much like the bacon on the buffet is not gluten-free. The stuff that you order at the brunch in the main menu main dining room is. The one on the buffet is not, because they put the bacon on gluten bread to soak up the oil and fat. And we made the mistake of, oh, it's bacon, it's got to be gluten-free. And both of us ended up having consequences that day that were not good. Had turkey. Basically, it was a Thanksgiving meal type situation. It had turkey, mashed sweet potatoes, and then a cranberry stuffing. The turkey was very good. The sweet potatoes was very good. The stuffing was It was very moist, a lot more moist than I like my stuffing or dressing. And we went to the pasta bar, and I got butter noodles with shrimp, broccoli, zucchini, and I think mushrooms, and it was delicious. So the pasta was very good.
This is mine, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is mine. It's gluten-free noodles with just red sauce. It was really good.
This, I think, was the banana bread. They had banana nut raisin bread that was gluten-free, and it was the best bread for gluten-free of the trip.
But as somebody with texture issues, I struggle eating raisin and nut bread, so I didn't like it as much, but she enjoys that kind of thing, and so
I think you would have enjoyed it more if it didn't have the raisins or the nuts.
Yeah.
And it was very moist, almost like a fruit cake.
It was very good, and it was just, I ordered it every day after that, and it was very good. More French toast, that was delicious, and of course the gluten-free bacon that we ordered. And I had lots of tea.
Oh yeah, this is when you guys went by yourselves.
Yes.
To the thing.
You can tell I'm giving it a 2 thumbs up there because it was so good.
So this is Gigi's Asian Kitchen. As we were saying, it's something like Pei Wei or Panda at night, but during the day, it's a...
You can get a stir fry or a broth noodle.
And
we got the shrimp. I got the shrimp noodles, and it was kind of a curry broth. Ashlyn does not enjoy curry in any shape, form, or fashion, or stir fry.
And so I just got plain noodles again.
And they're basically just the Asian rice noodles.
They're really good. You can find some on Amazon, I'm pretty sure.
You can find them usually in your local grocery.
Oh, because the noodle pool went on forever.
Just the noodles by themselves were very good.
Yeah, I didn't very much enjoy the curry or the shrimp or the peas. Who puts peas in broth? This is
the menu mate podium, and there is supposed to be someone there at all times.
But there's not someone there in the morning. They normally get over there at
closer to lunch, and sometimes you still have to wait. And if you're waiting for an excessive amount of time, the wait staff will come up and ask if you need something, and they will go find someone to come speak with you. I would recommend that you use the person at the menu mate podium to order anything from the buffet, just because. And if they tell you, oh, just order from the line, I don't trust that, because our last Carnival trip, we ordered from the line at the deli. She asked for gluten-free bread. They gave her the bread, the sandwich. She's like, this is gluten-free, yes? And he's like, yes.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be the artisan sourdough bread. And yeah, that was not a good time for anyone in our cabin.
And so... because of that, we do have some issues.
We have some trust issues with ordering from the line.
From the deli line, just the deli line. We can sometimes trust the guy's line, but we'd rather go to the podium for that one. Mm-hmm. But for the pizza one, I would 100% go to
You can see them washing their hands and the protocols. Yes. Now, the advantage of using the menu mate podium is that you can sit down and they will bring your food to you.
And you can ensure that it's gluten-free.
Yes. And our first day on, we actually had one of the sous chefs, full kitted out, fix our sandwiches and bring them to us. And he was really good about it.
Yes.
So that helped a lot.
This
the
is
wonderful
shrimp cocktail.
Shrimp cocktail that was delicious.
How many times did you order shrimp cocktail on our 8-day cruise?
I think every single night except for Italian in the night I was in the cabin.
What's the hack if you're really into shrimp cocktail?
Order multiple.
You can order multiple appetizers.
Yes.
And you can order up to 2 entrees.
In the main dining room.
In the main dining room.
In the specialty restaurants, you get one.
One. But it was still very good. Steak.
This is your steak, I'm pretty sure.
This is the duck.
Oh, no. We had...
Let's talk about the duck.
The duck. As good as the steak was, the duck was the highlight of the trip for me. Ashlyn was in the cabin. She wasn't feeling good. She had some motion sick issues. The duck we got was the sauce on it. I don't know what it was, but it was, I think, hands down the most delicious dish that I had the entire trip.
And I think it was the best sauce that I had in a very long time.
It was so perfectly cooked.
This also reminds me that the staff tried to tell us that A1 wasn't gluten-free.
But it is.
A1 is gluten-free.
I believe on the bottle it specifically says that it's made in a factory that could contain wheat. And
but
that's where it's up to that person's decision.
I've never had a reaction to it. I don't think you have either.
No, I haven't. Pasta marcosis. And it had like octopus, mussels, all of the seafood in it. It came out with a spirelli pasta, which threw me because every pasta dish either one of us had besides the Gigi's was spaghetti noodles.
Yes.
And even the Gigi's was spaghetti sized.
Yeah, it was the rice noodles. So I stopped because it threw me because it was a different shaped pasta. And just to be on the safe side, I asked the waiter, hey, are we sure that this is the gluten-free version? Because the pasta looks different. He immediately went to his sous chef and verified that, yes, it is gluten-free. And it was delicious. This is the Alchemy Bar. We'd gone, Daddy and I, just to get some special drinks. We kind of try to do that once or twice, depending on the length of the cruise, to the Alchemy Bar. And this was one I had asked for. It was a peachy one, and I wanted it to sparkle. It was a martini, so it was not as sweet as I was hoping with the peach, but it was still pretty good for a martini.
What was your favorite thing on the cruise that you got that would normally be glutened?
The fried calamari.
Calamari?
The meatballs.
Meatballs, yes.
For me, the fried calamari, because I don't get it often, and I'm usually the only one that enjoys things like that, so it's hard for me to do that. I can't do it at home because we're so landlocked. But it was delicious.
What was your favorite thing on the cruise that overall gluten-free?
The duck.
The duck?
The sorbet.
The sorbet?
The sorbet. The sorbet and the duck had to be 2 of the best things we ate on the entire cruise.
If someone was watching this video because they have celiac and they're going on a Carnival cruise and they're worried if there's going to be food for them to eat, what is a tip that you would give them to help them? That you haven't already said.
Yeah. Well, when you board, I'd go see the lady or gentleman at the menu mate and speak with them. I would push for them to, if they tell you, oh, no, just go order from the line, I would push back and have them, no, I need this from the kitchen. I'm not going to trust, especially the first few times you're on until you kind of find the rhythm and what they're doing. And it's going to be different from ship to ship, even within the Carnival line. But I would also, something we did is we pre-ordered the night before for breakfast and dinner the next day. I would recommend you do that so they have plenty of time and they know kind of what they need to do. Because if you don't, it's going to, take longer because they're not expecting the order.
Well, but the other thing is, on that, they make the food fresh.
They do, but they've already kind of got it prepped, ready to go because they know that order is there. So you are going to be waiting a little bit longer maybe than other tables just because gluten-free. And they do try to bring something they did is they would bring the gluten-free and the gluten at the same time. But I noticed that there were different colored domes on the plates. And I think that was to signify allergy or vegan. And when they type your room number into their little system, if you have flagged that you have an allergy, it's in like great big letters, gluten-free.
We got a little too click happy on the allergy thing, and my dad got marked as gluten-free. So
he's like, no,
don't
I
make that
can eat all
mistake.
If you have an allergy, they cannot order a thing that has that allergy in it.
The system won't allow
grays
it.
it out. They can't click it. So we had a problem the first day with mine. We got it fixed pretty quick. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. But use the menu mate. Pre-order the night before because that was helpful. If you're going to a specialty restaurant, go and see the maitre d'.
Go during lunch.
Yeah, and see the maitre d' so you can pre-order and figure out what you can order. Because, they, like I said, they don't have a separate gluten-free menu.
Yeah.
And if you ordered the day before, they might be able to make something special they wouldn't normally have.
Like the meatballs.
If
or
they
the
have time the
calamari.
day before,
Yeah.
yes.
So.
But yeah, it was, I think this cruise was a lot better as far as the protocols. I would like it to be easier to order from the buffet just in general.
Yeah.
Because waiting for somebody at the menu mate, it's
crazy.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Sometimes I'd stand there for 20 minutes waiting for somebody to come by. But also, you know, last time we cruised, they didn't have the gluten-free menu. And I think they were a little better versed on their Horizon with allergies. It's also a larger ship than the previous one.
Yes.
The bread, though, like the dinner bread, as I said earlier, could stand with lots of improvement.
One of my main issue was the lack of attention to detail. We would explain something to the allergy person. Their entire job is to do allergy food. They would repeat it back to us wrong. We would say it to them correctly. They would repeat it back to us wrong. And it's not a verbiage, not a language issue. It was a comprehension and attention to detail issue. They didn't seem to care about the details.
Yeah, like we would have to, okay, we want roast or beef and provolone.
On the first night, they mistook my mom saying she wanted a cheese plate for cheesecake.
This is a really good cheesecake, though.
That was a happy accident.
That was the Carnival melting cake didn't live up to the hype that we had
Well,
had before.
apparently the gluten one did. Mine was very melty.
Yes. Hers was melty, but she preferred the cheesecake and the cheese.
And then we had yours that didn't even melt.
Ever. But I think there were more selections this time, and I don't know if it's because it was a larger ship. Or just an overall...
I think when they changed to the menu mate, they tried to make more things gluten-free. So...
I think they took a lot of base menued items and removed the gluten, so they didn't have to make something special. It was just an option.
Yeah. But like the pasta marcosa, the gluten would come with gluten pasta instead of the non. Yeah. But if you're unsure, definitely double check with your waiter. Yeah. Or the sous chef that's in charge of your food.
Are there any more questions?
I think that's it.
Okay. Bye, cupcakes. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's.
Bye, guys.